let's go with Oklahoma City first. We'll finish with Suggs because I think that's going to be the longer one. Oklahoma City last night had one of the more fun defensive performances that we've seen this year. And I've been on this now for a month that this Oklahoma City team, we probably aren't respecting enough what they're doing defensively to this stage. They have been one of the two best defenses basically of the last like 30 years. If you look at the numbers compared to league average, it is fantastic. They are so good. They fly around, they rotate, they can execute different schemes. They can play and drop. They can hard hedge. They can play 2 on the ball. They can blitz you on the ball. They can do so many different things defensively to try and make your life absolutely miserable. And man, did they make Luka Doncic's life absolutely miserable last night. Look, before we get into the defense, I want to shout out Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 39 points on 15 for 23, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He was unbelievable last night. He was incredible. Jalen Williams didn't have the most efficient night, but he had 18, 7, and 4. Hartenstein was pretty solid, I thought, overall. Lou Dort and Cason Wallace made some timely threes. Kenrich Williams had some really good minutes in that game. Isaiah Joe made some timely threes. They go 20 for 50 from the 3-point line. But really, this one was all about defense to me. They are unbelievable on the defensive end. And what they did in this game, for the most part, was blitz the ball against Luka and just get the ball out of Luka's hands. Luka ends this game with 16 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 6 turnovers, only 5 for 15 from the field. And he had a decent number of those points, I would guess, kind of after this was like a 15 to 18 point game too. They really shut him down early in this game. And honestly, I saw that Lou Dort got a lot of credit, and Lou Dort deserved a lot of credit too. Like, I don't mean to take anything away from Lou. I kind of thought Cason Wallace was their best defender last night. I thought he was, I mean, look, Hartenstein was probably their best defender, if we're being completely honest, but I thought Cason was a stud. And really, Oklahoma City, the reason that they are so good defensively now is because they have a rim protector in Isaiah Hartenstein, and they have guys who fly around on defense. They have 4 guys on the perimeter who are genuine potential all defense team members. Period. I think Jalen Williams has been really good on defense this year. Switchable. I think he deserves credit for playing center for like 8 games or whatever it was. Lou Dort is physical and tough. You ask NBA players who the toughest dude they have to face is. Lou Dort is just so good at getting into your space and making your life miserable that he deserves a lot of credit. Cason Wallace, I think, is probably going to make an all-defense team at some point. He's unbelievable on that end. He's so physical. He's so quick. He's so strong. And then Caruso is incredible. If you would have asked me who I felt like the best perimeter defender in the league is coming into this year, I probably would have said Caruso or Drew Holiday. It would have been one of those two. Now, I think my answer would probably be Amen Thompson. I think Amen is just like elite at everything on defense and is so athletic that he's able to make these like crazy help rotations across the court. But if you're asking me like point of attack defense, blowing things up on the weak side, Caruso is unbelievable at that too. So you have 4 dudes who are like genuine all defense guys. Shai is no slouch on defense, but like Shai is probably like their 6th or 7th best defender. And he's still like a plus defender because he's so long and is so good at playing that like free safety role where he can get in passing lanes and get steals. They're just really hard to deal with on defense. And this is a prime example, right? Like Cason Wallace here, just sticking in front, blocks a Luka shot there, walls up, slides in front. That is a ridiculous defensive possession against one of the 3 best players, 5 best players, whatever you want to call it in the NBA. Luka Doncic is like 6'8", 240 pounds. And Kaysen just swats him here and just stays in front of him, walls up, stays walled up, and doesn't let him get all the way to the rim. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. You can't teach it better than that. Like that's what you would show like college basketball players, you would show high school players, middle school players. That's the rep you would show if you're dealing with a guy that's bigger and stronger and faster, or not faster, but bigger and stronger than you are. It's perfect. Now we got Lou Dort. Kaysen switches. But more than that, 2 on the ball. Force the ball out of Luka's hands. Make Daniel Gafford make a decision. Or make Luka make let's see if we can ballpark this. I don't know, 45-foot pass all the way to the corner here, where you throw it on an absolute dart right into Klay Thompson's shooting pocket. You can't throw a pass better than this. Nobody on planet Earth can throw a pass better than that. And Lou Dort is still going to get out here for a contest on this. I almost wonder if Klay was like surprised that it was that on target. Because really, he just needs to shoot. Like, we know Klay can no dip shoot this. Like, he's that good of a shooter. I almost was like wondering, like, is he surprised by how accurate that pass was? Dort gets out, closes out. This is an insane closeout as well, and I want to give Dort his flowers here. He starts like here and gets all the way here. That is insane ground coverage. Rebound. Ball going the other way. 2 on the ball. We're doubling. Mostly because Isaiah Joe is the one that got stuck on Luka. It's going to leave Dinwiddie wide open. The Thunder are about as good, and even their all defense guy members are really good at playing in the middle of spaces. This one, close out. With where he was positioned, he's going to be able to close out here, and he's going to be able to close out here. It's really good from, I believe, Aaron Wiggins. So again, 2 on the ball. We're going to force the ball out of Luka's hands. Now we're making Derek Lively make a decision. Derek Lively's a good passer for a big, but I know who I feel better about passing, Derek Lively or Luka. I would rather have Derek Lively with the ball. He hits the early kick. Again, perfect positioning here, playing 1-on-2. From, I think that's Jalen Williams. He gets in the middle, realizes that's Klay there. You want to close out to Klay. Force the X out. And look at how tight. Is that Wiggins again? I think that's Wiggins again. Gets right out there. Perfect. Now we're in drop. And just look at how big they are in drop. Caruso is a big guard. He's like 6'4", 6'5". Uses that arm. Cuts off the pocket. Hartenstein keeps Lively in front of him, actively disrupting the ball handler. Perfect in drop coverage there. forces Kyrie to kick it out. Now we're reversing back again. Get beat off the bounce. Doesn't matter. Hartenstein's there to help and rotate over. And oh, by the way, Kenrich Williams is there as well to help the helper when Hartenstein commits. Perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Dort just absolutely making life miserable there. Kaysen goes for a steal. Luka had like 3, I think, first quarter turnovers that were kind of rough in transition. Look at Joe help up. Give Kaysen Wallace a chance to recover. Wallace somehow gets back into this play and cuts off. I mean, just look at Wallace fly back into this play. He's all the way up here, and he covers all this ground to get back in front of Najee Marshall. This is the stuff. Andy gets the steal and deflection. This is why I thought last night he was kind of their best defender. He was just everywhere. He was unbelievable last night. That is so much ground. I think he got hit with a foul call there. I didn't love it, if I'm being honest, but you know, whatever. Another double there. The doubles were just very timely. So switch. Now we're going to double. We're going to send just like a little scramble double. Make Kyrie hit Najee Marshall. Got help coming over. Kenrich Williams is there. Cuts it off. Steal. Turnover. Let's get to a quick little note from Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money action. There are over 10 million members. Like I said a second ago, they invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks always puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. We are big fans of Prize Picks here. We absolutely love the app and what they're doing for the daily fantasy sports scene. Download the app today and use code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use that code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. This episode of Game Theory is brought to you by BetterHelp. This month is all about gratitude, and there's someone that we don't often think about and thank enough. Ourselves. Sometimes it's hard to remind ourselves that we're trying our best to make sense of everything. Look, in this world, it is not easy. Here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people in your life, and that does include yourself. I'm someone who's absolutely gone to therapy in the past, particularly when I got diagnosed with ADHD. It's helped me immensely to understand myself, understand particularly how to put boundaries up with my interests, how to put boundaries up with work. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Game Theory today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Game Theory. Third quarter. Now you got Jalen Williams. And just look at Hartenstein here. Yep. Block that. And we'll have that too. And we'll get the rebound. To say the Knicks miss Isaiah Hartenstein would be an understatement. And this is why. I mean, he's just a monster on the interior. Look at how much bigger he is than Towns. He's just an enormous human being. And look, like, people can say the Knicks messed up or whatever, not keeping Hartenstein. The Thunder paid him almost $30 million a year. The Knicks had no chance here. They had no chance to keep Isaiah Hartenstein. But the Thunder recognized that this guy is kind of exactly what they need to deal with Denver, to deal with teams that play bigger. Minnesota plays bigger. When they made the deal, they thought it was going to be Towns on Minnesota. He's a monster on the interior. Helps everywhere. Great drop coverage, big and ball screens. Unbelievable shot contester at the rim. He is, to me, one of the 10 best defenders in the league. Oh, by the way, they have a second one in Chet Holmgren, too. So here, we're in drop. We're going to make sure Gafford doesn't get behind us with Hartenstein. Here, contesting. Perfect. This is just such a simple rep. But look at the way they communicate through it. Switch here. Guard to guard switch. Then we're in drop. He's going to try and get over the top. Jalen just stays in front, goes for the steal. And Hartenstein's there perfectly playing 2-on-1. They just do it so well. They do everything so well on defense. Here he's out high. Now we've got Lou Dort chasing Luka. Again, 2-on-1. Luka does a good job. But Cason Wallace is right here. Now you've got Jalen Williams, who has to sink down here into this potential 1-on-2. He at least has to get into this area. As soon as he makes his move, his momentum's going too far. So you know that Lively can get this ball out to Quentin Grimes. And then just look at Cason. Cason's going to X out and fly out here. It's so fantastic. Their defense is just poetry to me. I mean, look at Jalen Williams here, just fighting, scratching to get back into this play. Then they rotate with Dort. It's just ridiculous. And then they hustle and try and keep the ball in bounds to get a transition opportunity. Some middle Chicago action. Screen here, screen here. And just look at Jalen Williams. Just get in the middle and blow this thing up. Hartenstein shows. Cason Wallace here. Helps from the corner. On to Lively. Helps the helper. Dort going here. Cason Wallace doesn't even think twice. He goes out, X's out immediately. It's just perfect. They rotate perfectly, guys, every time. Oh, and then by the way, you have this guy with a 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan who's guarding 1-on-2 here. And he somehow gets this ball. Just ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. Name of the game in the NBA today is ground coverage. They cover more ground than anybody else in the league while also protecting the rim. This one's just sick because Yes, they've eaten up all the time on the shot clock. Caruso's here. Yes. It's a bad arrow. Caruso or Kaysen gets back cut here. But watch them help. Kenrich is there so quick. He is so quick here. He sees it before it happens. He's there. Jalen Williams is here immediately to help the helper. And look at him get a hand on this ball. It's perfect. This is how you defend. This is the difference between good defenses and great defenses and bad defenses and great defenses, right? They're physical at the point of attack. Their best players defend. Like, look at Shea. Poke away. They're about as good on defense as I've seen a team in a long time. And we have not seen Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren play together yet. They're going to have 48 full minutes of elite level rim protection. There are certain matchups where they're going to have to run that out. Not all of them. We'll probably play them together a few minutes a game, maybe like 8 to 10 minutes a game. Maybe 6 minutes a game. Could be. You can play both of them 24 minutes, each at center. And then maybe an additional, 6 for Chet. Where he's the 4 with Hartenstein out there. If they are fully healthy, this is the best team in the West, and this is the best defensive team in the league. Like, Houston does an amazing job. I love watching Houston defend. They might be my favorite team to watch defend because it's a little bit more chaotic. Amen and Tari particularly, like, they just create and cultivate chaos. Oklahoma City is more just poetic. Everyone on a line, rotating, communicating. Perfect, right? And this is a big difference too, right? Like, Şengün versus Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein. Like, I know Rockets fans like to talk about, Şengün is now like a great defender. He's fine. He's improved and he deserves a lot of credit for improving. These guys are elite defenders on the interior. That's what they look like. Şengün's gotten better and deserves a lot of credit for getting better. I don't have questions about Hartenstein and Chet in the playoffs. I have some questions about Şengün, as we showed earlier in the show. Oklahoma City ends up winning this game 118 to 104. I actually don't even know if I've said the score yet, which is pretty funny. This was probably the least close of all of the games. This just felt like Oklahoma City had it the whole way. Felt like they had a real buzz playing Dallas after the playoff series last year too. I'm interested to see. I'd love to see these two teams again in the playoffs. Truly, truly fascinated to see them again in the playoffs.